Mikel Mourinho's Arsenal completed it, mate. Nine out of 9 points, baby. Hey guys, it's your boy Ojo Sam here, back again with another video after Liverpool beat Arsenal 3-1 after going 2-0 for the last two games, not having beaten them in the last two appearances. With Mikel Arteta getting the better of us, we finally got the win when it mattered, when we're not on the beach, when we're not playing a friendly, in the league, at home. We got the win 3-1, and this is my post-match analysis and player ratings of the game for the Liverpool anyway. So before we do get into the video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and also put down in the comment section below what your opinions on the game was. Maybe your player ratings. If you're an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan, feel free to give me your opinions down in the comment section below. But let's get right into it. First things first, the lineups. Now, there was a lot of rumours going about saying that Thiago and Alisson were both going to be out for today's game, which in the build-up to it, I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little bit worried. I mean, not so much about Thiago, which, again, you know, if he did start, I would have been very, very happy. But at the same time, I knew that we could break them down. I was more worried about Alisson not starting, to be honest, because Adrian is prone to a mistake, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did make one. But anyway, lineups come out, and Thiago's nowhere near the starting lineup or anything like that. But Alisson is starting in goal, which was for me a huge relief. And then we had obviously back four, same as usual. Joe Gomez back in the squad, which meant that Fabinho can play in his natural DM position. Then we had Keita on the right side of the midfield and Gini Wijnaldum on the left hand side. Personally, I prefer it the other way around, with Keita on the left, Gini on the right. But hey, it works. Then the front three, as usual, Mane, Salah, and then obviously Sir Bobby Firmino. And then on the bench, we had, I think it was Diogo Jota. Sikimas wasn't actually on the bench, which I was a little bit surprised about, but then obviously Nico Williams and all of that. But first things first, my expectations of the game, I was expecting Arsenal to sit back, do what they normally do, and try and hit us on the counter-attack. Liverpool to dominate possession, have the majority of the chances, and Arsenal to capitalise on our mistakes. What happened? First few minutes came in, we had a few chances. There was one, I believe, with a nice little interplay from Keita on the right-hand side. Fizzes it and, passes it to Trent. Trent does a low cross, and then Mane, you know, takes a shot. He did well to keep it on target, but he goes straight towards the goalkeeper. And that was the first chance. And then the second chance was from Trent. I think following a corner, the ball comes out. He hits it sweetly, but unluckily, it goes in between the legs of, Bellerin, takes a deflection, hits the crossbar, and it felt for a little bit that Arsenal were getting their juju. They were getting their luck, and they were going to capitalise on that luck. And then what happened? Later on, you know, Liverpool caught out Arsenal a little bit beforehand with them playing out through the back and us pressing them high up with the pitch, starting from Gini and Keita, and then obviously with the attack as well. We did very well to actually press them, and then they tried it again. And they evaded the press this time. And normally, from when I've seen Arsenal, they tend to play more out on the right hand side. But this time, they played out on the left hand side, and they just left so many gaps. Trent was high up, everybody was high up, and then I think Lacazette was able to get the ball, play it out down to the left, which I believe Aubameyang might have been on. Aubameyang then crosses the ball in to the middle of the box. It lands to Robertson with Willian on the back post, not really posing that much of the threat, and Robertson doesn't get his foot right. Obviously, he's predominantly left-footed, so he goes in first with his left foot, which was, you know, towards the goal, which then led to him basically giving an assist to Alexander-Lacazette, and it was a somewhat of a very rusty, scrappy finish, which kind of ended up working to his favour, because I don't think Alisson was really expecting it. It took an awkward bounce. Alisson was already on the floor, didn't have enough time to get up, and it was 1-0 to Arsenal. And I was watching it on my TV, and my dad was just like, yeah, it's just the same thing. Arsenal capitalizing on mistakes, because obviously the last time when we played them in the 2-1 loss, and then obviously in the Community Shield, it was just mistakes that we made which led to Arsenal scoring the goals. So it was very frustrating to actually see that happen. But straight away, literally straight away, we do very well. I think it was a ball from the right hand side. It goes towards Keita. Keita, he gets the ball. He is absolutely manhandled by both, I believe, Xhaka, but mainly David Luiz, which I think would have been a foul if Firmino didn't manage to get the ball. But Firmino manages to get the ball, play on the advantage. Then the ball gets played out to Mohamed Salah, and Mo Salah, I told you about this streamline thing. I told you about it. And he's just different at Anfield. He draws his power from Anfield, similar to like what Hela and Thor. All these men draw their power from Asgard. Salah's the same thing, but from Anfield. I'm telling you this now. Anyway, he gets the ball and just he makes Tierney do the dab. That's the best way I can describe it. He makes Tierney do the dab. Tierney's out of control. He gets inside of him. Tierney wasn't expecting. He was ushering to the outside. Salah goes on the inside, outmuscles him completely. Then Salah goes for the shot. Leno gets a decent hand onto it, but not a strong enough one. And then in about less than 2 minutes, Liverpool reply back with a goal after Mane taps in the rebound to make it 1-1. And said it was a brilliant reply. It showed a lot of aggression, which I think both our wingers showed a lot during this game. You can kind of tell, which I should really get into, to be honest. From the first few minutes, Mane went on a little bit of a, he was just seeing red, it felt like at times, because the first few minutes, he absolutely clatters, I believe, Hector Bellerin, and he gets away with it. Which, again, it was a very strong challenge very early in the game, I understand that. But Mane was very, very aggressive in this game, and he is aggressive, but not as aggressive as he normally is. And then, obviously, later on, I think it was on Tierney, I believe, he gets a little bit of an elbow out, and I've seen it a little bit on Twitter and stuff like that. I haven't really fully looked, and people are saying, rival fans and stuff like that are saying it's a red card. You guys can leave your opinions down in the comment section below. I personally didn't think it was, because there's some pictures that look like he smacked him in the head and stuff. But if you actually look at the replay, which shows it perfectly, it hits him around here, around the chest area, and he doesn't really look towards it. So the intent really isn't really there. But to be fair, with the whole handball rules and all of that, you don't know. But anyway, 1-1. And again, Arsenal, same thing again. It looked like for them, back to plan A. They got the goal and it didn't react. And, they say you're most vulnerable when when you score a goal. And, it was showed there. And I think now with there being so many games, I think that's showing more and more often. But anyway, Arsenal revert back to the same thing. Putting many men behind the ball. Mikel Mourinho at his finest. But then again, Liverpool creating chances, keeping the ball. And then it was a beautiful goal. I mean, Andy Robertson made amends from his mistakes. There was a few chances beforehand, actually, I forgot to mention. With Van Dijk, that was quite early. I think that was at 0-0, I believe. But Van Dijk, from across from Trent, very unlucky. I think Firmino would have tried to get onto it, but David Luiz does well to clear it. But as I was mentioning before, the goal comes from, I believe, a corner from the left-hand side. It gets cleared out. It goes back towards Trent, and it goes towards Trent. Trent does a nice ball in. It goes over all the defenders. I think Hector Bellerin was marking Sadio Mane, and he was the player furthest, most out wide in defense. And Andy Robertson does a very late run, catches Hector Bellerin off guard, chesses it down, kind of like a superhero stance, and then does well to, dink it over the goalkeeper and make it 2-1 in just a matter of minutes, from going 1-0 down, again, showing the resilience, similar to when Bobby Firmino scored a hat-trick, to be honest. And from then, I felt quite confident. There was a few times where I was a little bit worried, but I felt quite confident because I knew that Arsenal would have to now go out. They would have to. And that was the main thing. Liverpool carried on, with the press and everything. And it was brilliant. We were pressing high up the pitch. When Arsenal tried playing out of the back, we were pressing them quite high up the pitch. But Arsenal did very well to stay in the game, and obviously they were still 2-1 till very, very late. Liverpool created a lot of chances. There was quite a few, but Arsenal, especially in the second half, came out a bit more and kind of expressed themselves in a better way. And maybe if they didn't play the way that they played throughout the whole game, maybe it would have been a different result. But Alexander-Lacazette was probably one of the main reasons that they didn't get a result today. Even though he did get the goal, there was a few chances. One which I'm pretty sure was offside, where very similar chances to be honest. He gets in behind and he tries dinking Alisson. Alisson palms it away, ball gets played out. And I think Liverpool almost get a chance on the counter-attack. Then the next one is Trent this time. The whole defence pushed up forward. Trent was a little bit, lacked a bit of concentration in that moment. Played Lacazette onside. Lacazette, I thought, was going to try and round Alisson there, but he goes for the shot. Alisson makes himself big and makes a big save in that moment. And that was really all the chances that Arsenal really had. There was a few shots. I think there was maybe one shot that went off target, but apart from that, there wasn't really that many chances. And the rest was all Liverpool, to be honest. Arsenal, they dangered in some moments, but I think their set pieces were a little bit poor. Especially, I think they got their first set piece around the 70th minute. And after that, they had a few set pieces, but none of them really reached their first man. So they didn't really trouble Liverpool in those areas. But the big chances came, in my opinion, one when Firmino had a chance where he goes for the shot and it takes a deflection, just goes wide. But the big chances for me, when Jota came on, he was energetic, he was amazing, and he's like I think I saw it on Twitter, and that was the best way I saw it. I wish I could get the tweet up, and if not, if you guys know who tweeted it, I think it might have been RF9, I'm not too sure. But Sambora, I believe that is. I'm not too sure, don't correct me if I'm wrong. But the best way I can describe it, he's like an Andy Robertson at left wing, and he showed energy. He showed he pressed very well, and he's a brilliant understudy to Sadio Mane. That's the best way I can describe it. And he almost straight away, within the first few minutes of coming on, obviously James Milner came on to try and control the game, but within the first few minutes, he has a brilliant opportunity to make it 3-1 and seal the game. It was a brilliant chance, to be honest. Salah does very well on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. Does a little good interplay with Roberto Firmino. Then spots Jota, who made the run and saw that he was going to be in space for quite a while. He puts his hand up, makes a run. Salah plays a lovely ball inside, and Jota should be doing much better there. He tries going for the near post, but I think his footing was dragged a little bit wide, so he was kind of off balance with the shot, hence why the shot hit the side netting. Then the next one, again, Salah starting off with the play, brilliant interplay on the right-hand side, and then plays into Gini Wijnaldum, who was plays into Firmino, and then Firmino plays into Gini Wijnaldum, who was in a lot of space. Gini Wijnaldum does a nice little flick up towards Diogo Jota, but then Salah makes a curved run, basically where Diogo Jota was. Diogo Jota was trying to make the touch, doesn't. Salah actually gets in front of him, and it was a massive kerfuffle, and then they get the ball. I think, Leno manages to pick the ball up. But then finally, after chances and chances, Diogo Jota gets the corner, first of all. After brilliant work down the left-hand side. He does really well. And yeah, he gets the corner. Corner is quite poor, gets cleared out. And I think Robertson tries to cross it in. It's quite heavy. Then Salah, for me, I don't think a lot of people I don't know if it'll go notice, but I thought he did very well for the goal. He keeps the ball in the corner flag, out-muscles Danny Ceballos, I believe, who was on that side. Keeps the ball there for quite a bit. Waits for there to be a marker, for some, not a marker, somebody to come up to give him a little bit of support, and I believe it was Trent. Comes back, plays it to Trent. Trent does a crossing, and I believe David Luiz clears it out. Not very well, because Diogo Jota is waiting on the outside of the box. Takes it down with his thigh, and then volleys it into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 3-1 and game over. That was it. That was all she wrote. Diogo Jota on his debut. Dio goal, as people have said. Call me Muller, because that was cringy as hell. But, yeah, 3-1, game over. Probably, in my opinion, probably our most difficult result in my out of the 3 games, I think that was our most difficult result in my opinion. Even though we controlled most of the game, we had 70% possession, I believe, more or less. You know, we dominated shots, but we've seen in the past, you know, in just this week alone, that possession doesn't count for everything. You know, City lost with 72% possession, Bayern Munich lost as well, and they lost handsomely. So to get the result and to nullify even the likes of Aubameyang, I thought was brilliant. But it was a brilliant performance all round, in my opinion. There was a few errors, but the people that made errors made up for them. But let's get down to the player ratings. Alisson Becker. Few nervy moments. If I'm being very, very critical here, there was a few nervy moments, but again, the nervy moments didn't lead to anything. They actually ended up being very good passes. So that was just me just being nervous. So, and he made 2 very good saves and very important saves when it was at a very crucial moment at 2-1. Even though one of them was most likely going to be offside, the other one wasn't, and it was a very, very good save. So I'm going to say again, I'm going to say a 9.5 out of 10 for Alisson. And for me, he's definitely one of the contenders for man of the match, but for me, he isn't. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think sometimes his passing was a little bit off, especially in the first half. But he grew into the game. He got much better. And was always a threat. He was always linking up with Salah. He was always an option, and that was great to see. He obviously got an assist for Robertson's goal, and I definitely think he grew into the game, and I thought he played a very good game again. So again, I'm going to say a 9 out of 10 for me. Andy Robertson made a mistake for the goal, but they made up with it with a goal and played very well throughout. I thought he was always an option again down the left-hand side, and if it wasn't for that mistake. For that mistake, then 100% I would have said a 10 out of 10 performance. But I'm going to say a 9 out of 10. I know he made a mistake, but I'm going to say 9 out of 10 for me for Andy Robertson. Virgil van Dijk, rock as always. It's one of those things with Virgil van Dijk that he's such a world-class centre-back that even when he does a brilliant performance and keeps the likes of Lacazette, Willian, I know Lacazette scored, but he still kept him relatively quiet, and Aubameyang and Willian and all them lot. And Pepe, when he came in, they kept him all relatively quiet. I don't know, I'm going to say again 9 out of 10. I thought it was a brilliant performance. Joe Gomez, for me, I thought he had a better performance than Van Dijk today. I thought he was very, very good. He drived out from the back. Oh, Van Dijk almost scored, by the way. That shot was a bit wild. I saw it. I knew he was going to shoot, but if it wasn't straight at the keeper, that was definitely going in. And then, yeah, Joe Gomez, I thought was brilliant. He looked very composed, and it was back to the Joe Gomez that we're used to seeing, and not this rash, press-hungry DM Joe Gomez that we saw against Leeds United, and I was happy to see this, a more disciplined performance from Joe Gomez. So again, I'm going to say 10. I'm going to say 10 out of 10. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I'm going to say 10 out of 10. Fabinho, since the Chelsea game, bro, he just looked amazing. And I know that was only last game, but honestly, he was amazing today again. Ushered Aubameyang when necessary. When Trent pushed up, he was there to cover. He even bombed forward a few times, which was quite nice to see. Was always a great passing option, always looking for the switch. It was amazing. Same, by the way, with the fullbacks and Van Dijk as well. Joe Gomez didn't do it as much, but yeah, I just had to also give them props for that. I thought it was a brilliant performance from him, to be honest. So again, I'm going to say 9.5. You know what? Joe Gomez 9.5. Also Fabinho 9.5, because there was a lot of standout performance there for me. Keita, I thought he was alright. I thought his pressing was quite good. Not a standout performance again. I still think he's better on the left-hand side of the midfield than the right-hand side, and I think him and Gini should swap over. But I thought they would get both got into really good positions in attack. Keita also played a hand in the first goal. Yeah, he played a hand in the first goal, I believe. So I'm going to say an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a solid performance from me from Keita. Then Gini, I thought as well. I thought he was probably the better out of the two today. But again, going to good positions, could have got an assist here and there. His shooting needs to improve, by the way. Gini Wijnaldum's shooting needs to improve. There was a brilliant chance in the first half where he was in acres of space, and I know it was outside the box, but he should be doing better. He hits it straight at the keeper, and he should be doing a little bit better there. But I thought he played quite well, to be honest. Again, I'm going to say 8.5 there for Gini Wijnaldum. Then for Salah, I'm going to say 9 out of 10, bro. He played very, very well today. I said, I think he was influential for both the first and the third goal. He was always a threat out wide. He was always strong. He was aggressive. He was always causing Tierney problems. Tierney didn't really know what to do. Was barely ever where he was actually on, he was quite wide today. but when he was wide, it didn't feel like he was going to lose the ball at any point. And when he did, he would be smart enough to actually give the ball back to Trent, or give it back to Keita, or give it inside to Firmino. And he was always intelligent. His runs were quite intelligent today. The only bad thing that he really did, in my opinion, was get the ball away from Jota. That was the only bad thing I thought he did today. I thought overall he was very, very good. Didn't really miss any chances, but he was very, very good. So I'm going to say 9 out of 10. Sadio Mane, 10 out of 10 performance for me. I thought he was absolutely amazing today. He was aggressive. Could have got a red card, don't get me wrong, but very aggressive. Just amazing. Like, the turns of pace that he was doing. He spun Hector Bellerin God knows how many times. He was drawing so many fouls. He was just amazing. He could have scored another goal, which on the turn, it was very difficult, but he could have got another goal after following the pass from Firmino. It was a very, very good overall performance. Explosive is the best way I can describe it from Sadio Mane. It was amazing. Then Bobby Firmino, so I said 10 out of 10 for Sadio Mane. He's personally my man of the match, but I thought there was brilliant performances throughout today's game, in my opinion. Roberto Firmino, again, was very, in a lot of the attacks, he was quite integral to most of them. The first goal, integral. The second goal, no, but there was a lot of chances that we did create where he would spearhead the attack and then create a few chances. As I said, the one for Sadio Mane. There was one where if the chest was a little bit, towards Salah, it would have been one of the most beautiful goals I would have seen, where Trent plays the ball, Firmino chests it down, but Salah wasn't able to get onto it. There was a lot of good things that I saw from Firmino today. And it seems that we're seeing more of the Firmino that we're more accustomed to, and not the one that we saw last season, which wasn't the Firmino that we're used to. So I'm happy to see that Firmino, for me, played well. 8 out of 10 for me. Then Jota, bro, I've got to say, I'm happy for him, bro. I'm happy for him. Diogo Jota, on his debut, doing a Sadio Mane. You're playing against Arsenal. You score in your debut. Doing a Mohamed Salah. You're playing against Arsenal in your home debut. What are you going to do? You're going to score. I just love it. Diogo Jota with a very well-worked goal, by the way. I'm not well-worked. Well-finished goal. For a second, I thought it was going to be a handball, the way they were doing the replays. But a very well goal. Even if the goalkeeper dived, I don't think he's saving it. Post and in. It was beautiful. Brilliant performance there. Looked lively. Could have got a hat-trick, to be honest with you, from when he came on. But that's Liverpool's front three, so he's going to fit in brilliantly. We have a lot of chances, and sometimes on our bad days, we don't score him. And, he looks like he's going to fit into that front three, and our backup front three is looking very good. So I'm very happy. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I'm a little bit gassed for him. I'm happy for him. Our backup front three is looking wild, by the way. Shaqiri, Minamino, and Jota. Oh, that's looking beautiful. Then we've got Harvey Elliott and all them lot. Then Milner came in, controlled the game, came on for KR. I thought it was the right decision. Came in to control the game, control the tempo. He didn't really put a foot wrong. And, 9 points out of 9. City dropped points yesterday. The only teams at the moment with 3 out of 3 is Leicester, Everton, and Liverpool, I think. I might be wrong. But, if we don't win the league, I feel like we're going back to back, boys. Honestly, I do. But we beat Mikel Mourinho's boys. If you did like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel as well. That would be much appreciated. But this is the end of the video. It's your boy Jota here. Stay safe, and I hope you guys have a very nice day. Top of the league.